You ever heard that before? You probably have. It's a sort of very sort of common blues riff, very similar to stuff that I think Muddy Waters did. Anyway, that's what we're going to learn. We're going to get straight into it. So, here's the tab. Let's have a think about this. Let's look at our first line. First two bars. What string is it on? Bottom E. What frets are we using now? 5, 0, 3, 0. So we're going to, like we did with Smoke on the Water, we're going to get our hand into this position where our first finger's hovering over the 3rd fret and our 3rd finger's hovering over the 5th fret. And we're going to have our fingers nicely spaced out like that. And our hand is not going to stray at all for this song. We don't need to worry. That's where it is. So get your thumb at the back, get rooted, and let's just play it. Right? So we're going to go 5, 0, 3, 0. Now, at that speed, it sounds weird, but eventually you're going to get to this speed. Dong, 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 dong. It's great. It's so easy. It's so simplistic. And it's just awesome. So let's try it. Let's go slow. Dong, 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 dong. That speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the first bar. And then the second bar, you're just playing 0. And then again, nice and steady, sort of thumping along. Let's play that whole first line now. 1, 2, 3, and. So that's how spaced out those 2 zeros at the end are. Dong, dong. Okay? So pause the video, practice it yourself 2 times, and then come back, we'll play it slightly faster together. 2, 3. Strokes in the strumming hand. Okay, I know it's a bit fast right now, but that's what it feels better to play it slightly faster song. Now the second line, can you see what has changed and what has stayed exactly the same? What's changed? The string. We're just playing the same thing on the A string now. We just moved it up 1 string. So what we'll do, let's play the whole thing. Once on the E string, once on the A string. 2, 3. Back again. Now, if you're getting a bit overwhelmed, you're getting a bit confused, do things which can make it easier for you, and that is leave your hand in a good position, the left hand. So you know you're stretching out, so you know your first finger's hovering over the 3rd, and you know your 3rd finger's hovering over the 5th, and they're coming off enough to let the open strings ring, but they're not flying all the way out of the way, so they have to travel really far back and spend loads of time, and then maybe accidentally hitting the wrong fret. So hover them close as you can, okay? And just keep them there and keep the hand in position, and that will make it easier because now you can concentrate on looking at the music and you know that your fingers are going to go to the right places, so you don't have to keep looking back at your left hand. Try and keep your right hand doing rest strokes, again just nice and small actions, nice and controlled, so you don't have to like, oh no, I don't know which string I'm plucking. You know that it's hovering over the E and then moving just a tiny bit to get to the A. Small motions. Let's play it one more time. 3, 4. Sorry, I played the first line twice. We're going to the second line now. A string. One more time on the E. Okay, I hope that was fun. That's like one of my favorite things to play. It's so good. It's so simple. It's so good. If you want to keep on playing that for a little bit, I understand. Pause the video, just go back and keep playing that for a bit. But if you're ready to move on, we're going to learn another chord. No, we're not. No, that's tomorrow. Sorry. We're going to practice playing our 2 chords together now. Or one after the other. Playing them together would be impossible, I think. So, let's look at E minor. You know how to do this by now, hopefully. There's a chord box to remind you. Now, just checking all your basics. Always checking in. Nice low wrist. Thumb at the back. Pointing straight at the ceiling. Fingertips. Something I forgot to mention, totally, I should have mentioned this ages ago, is like if some of you got long nails on your left hand, they might be so long that they actually stop you getting right. You might have to cut them, okay? Sorry. But if they're so long that they're stopping you hitting the holding the frets properly, then they're just going to have to go. That's a complete aside. So we're looking at E minor. That's our first chord we learned, and then we shifted it up. And we played from the A string down, and we've got A sus2. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use this rhythm, and we're going to play these chords, and we're going to shift them over. Okay, so first of all, let's just have a practice shifting over. Let's just do E minor. We're going to go lift off, move it over, put it down, then put it back here again. And then let's go backwards. So let's strum the A sus, lift off, move, plunk them down. Now you see, as much as possible, I'm trying to just move them as a unit, as 2 fingers together, because they're on the same fret. Then they're covering similar strings. I'm not doing one and then the other. I'm trying to just get them both down at the same time, which might take some practice, but that's what you're ultimately aiming for. Let me just check my notes. Okay, so yeah, we're going to play this rhythm. Let's just do E minor first. We're going to do 1 bar of E minor, and then wanted to show you how we've got our first beat. We last for 2 beats. We hit it and we go 1, 2, and then we've got 3, 4. If you're feeling fancy and you want to just sort of extend this out a little bit, this is how you're going to play that. The first beat, you're going to strum all the strings. You're going to rake very sort of dramatically, hold it for the 2 beats. The next 2 beats, the 2 singles, just pluck the first few strings. You don't have to do the full strum. So just do little mini strums. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just for a bit of effect, just to sort of vary this up a little bit. Okay, now let's have a look at this chord pattern. So you can see we've got 2 bars of E minor and then 2 bars of A sus2. Now, it's quite hard to change in between beats. You haven't got very long to change over, so we're going to go slow. Okay, let's get a metronome on to help us keep in time. Let's go even slower than that. Super slow, because we got that might make it even worse because it's so slow, but it gives us time to change chords. 2, 3, 4, E minor, break it, hold it, 2 many ones, again, break it, 2, 3, 4, hands up and over, 2, 3, 4, break it, 2, and it's another 2 beat, back to E minor, 1, want you to really look at what I'm doing with my left hand here. When I move from E minor to A sus, I'm trying to put as little distance between the strings of my fingers as possible. So it's just a tiny little motion, just a little hop over. Because if I take them way off and then my hand opens up and then I've got to sort of squeeze back in to get ready, it's just so much to do. So just once your fingers are in that position on E minor, try and hold them there and just bring them off and on with as little movement as you can get away with. It's something that takes practice, okay? But that's the aim. You need to at least know what you're aiming for. Because if you take them way off and they have to come way back on again, you just get all out of time and then you miss the beat with your right hand and then you get upset, and we don't want that. Just a little movement. Okay, should we try exercise one more time? I'm going to go slightly faster because I actually found it quite tricky to go that slow. So let's put it to 50 BPM. Sorry, give me a second. So it's just a little bit faster. So the thing to think about is, when do I have to change? I've got 2 bars of E minor and then I change. So when we start the second bar of E minor, start thinking about the change so you're ready for it when it comes. So after 4, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 small strums. Big strum. 2. Get ready, here we go. Lift off. Long tone. 2, 3, 4, and then 2 beats. 2 beats. Lift off. Get back to E minor. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift off. Plonk it on. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Oh, I've totally messed up the last bar. You get the idea. Now, that might have felt quite rushed. You might think, I can't play, I can't change, I'm not getting it on time. Don't worry. Just spend a little bit of time now just practicing going between. Just strum E minor once, lift it off, put it back down for A sus, and then play it. And just go back and forth. Like that, nice and gently. Just let your hands get used to what they have to do, because there's a lot they have to do, and your right hand is doing complicated things, and you're trying to count beats. It's going to take a bit of time for all this information to absorb and become natural, but you will get there. Let's move on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little think about notes, and we're going to learn about all these other notes that we haven't talked about yet. Because when we started, we said we start on A, we got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A again, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it goes round like that. But there's actually more notes in between. Like there's notes in between the tones that we have, the pitches that we have. The easiest way to demonstrate this is a guitar for what we know already. So if we imagine, let's go to F. Remember, we got our note F here, and then we stretch up and we got G. But what about this note here? There's a note in between those two that we haven't talked about yet. And it's not because they're not important, it's just we haven't talked about it yet. So we've got F, we've got this thing, whatever that is, and then we've got G. And if you think about the alphabet, there's no letters in between F and G, so we can't give it another letter name. So what we're going to call it, we're going to call it F sharp. So that note there, that second fret, is F sharp. And then we go to G. So weirdly, we go F, F sharp, G. Okay, sharp, when we talk about sharpening a note, remember we're talking about when we're tuning it, we said, oh, the note's too sharp. It meant it was too high, so we had to bring it down a bit, we had to flatten it. So sharpening is moving it up. So we've got F, and we know that when we travel this way along the fretboard, we go up 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going up in pitch. So we've sharpened it. We're going F to F sharp, and then G. And then have a guess what that note is going to be then? F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and then A. Okay, and so on. I'm not going to do all the notes on the fretboard. Let's have a look at another example here. So if we did our note here, we've got C. And then we've got this note, whatever that might be, and then you've got D. Want to guess what that note is called? The note in between C and D? It's one up from C, C sharp. Okay, it's just good to know these things. This is what it looks like on a keyboard. On a keyboard, you've got white keys and you've got black keys, and they've all got different names. But the black keys are all the sharps, and the white keys are all the naturals, as they're referred to. Okay, now we can imagine the keyboard is just one really long string on the guitar. That's how that would work. So let's pick a string. Let's pick A, because we have an A string and it's nice to start at the beginning of the alphabet. And this is the pattern of natural notes and sharps along the A string, along all notes really. So we've got A, got up one fret, we get A sharp. That will be the black note here on the keyboard. Then we've got B. Now here's the confusing thing. Look at the keyboard. There's no black note in between. There's no black note in between the B and the C and the B, the B and the C. So we just go straight on the guitar. We go, if this is B, we just go straight to C. I don't know why. I've never understood it myself, but we just got to accept it that there is no B sharp. It's just not there. You just go B and then C. So let's just recap. We've started on A. The next note along, the first fret on A would be A sharp. Then we've got a B. Then we go straight to C. What's up from C? If you look on the keyboard, there is a black note up from C. So C sharp. And then D. You don't have to memorize these, by the way, right now. I'm just explaining the theory. We've got D, then we've got D sharp. Then we get to E. And again, look, weirdly, between E and the next note on the keyboard, there's no black note. So there's no E sharp either. Just go straight to F. So E, then F. But let's look, you do have an F sharp. Then you got a G. You do have a G sharp. And then you're back to A. So we've got all that distance. We started on the open A string, went all the way up there, and we got back to A again. That's just how it works. It's just a little bit of something to understand the sort of broader musical landscape. How many frets did we have to go before we got back to A? And that will tell you how many notes that actually are in music. So we've done A, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. So 11 frets, but when we had our first note, the open string, or the 12th, there's 12 notes in music. I hope that made some kind of sense. Like I say, you don't have to memorize that right now. You just need to be aware of it, that all these notes that we haven't talked about yet, you might have been thinking that. You might think, well, I've got C, and I've got D, but we don't wonder, why is that not D? That's what I'd have been thinking. Is that why is that not D, and then that's not E? It's just not. All right, we've got these things called sharps that we need to understand. If that made no sense, send me an email and ask me to re-explain it, because I'm not sure if I made that clear or not. Yeah, so that's another good lesson done. I'll see you tomorrow.